But under these Democrats here in California who like to misuse their people, across America, we know that gas has been under $3 a
Bro,
gallon.
it's not. In Texas, where it's notoriously cheap, we're reaching 4. That's insane. Because the slightest pushback. Oh, hold on. Wait, no, you're going way past my talking point brain. Okay, you're doing too much.
President Trump is giving the world a needed reminder that America is the leading global superpower. Or
So
something.
why didn't China invade Taiwan while Biden was in power? If we're so weak.
Are you suggesting that I should understand the reasons behind every single movement of other countries? Transgenderism
Well, no, but if you guess you have an opinion, maybe you should.
is a mental disorder and should be treated, not affirmed.
Can I ask what the treatment you think is?
My suggestion would be a lot more therapy. Abortion is the murder of a human being.
Once someone is born,
you've been.
if they no
Oh my
longer
God.
have the capacity,
Oh my God, they're getting all
consciousness,
the.
their will and the fate of their existence goes to
Oh
the
my God,
hands
so
of whoever
dramatic.
is legally trusted.
The American homelessness and poverty problem is actually an illegal immigration problem.
What we're mostly talking
She's doing it again. It's everything. She's good. She's good. Oh my God, I called her out last time for being like, don't worry about the Epstein elites. Oh my God, there's illegal immigrants here.
So
Well,
when
look,
we're
I'm
worried
wor-
about Epstein with a couple of people, and you guys turn
A
blind
couple
eye
of
to
people?
just say-
tens of thousands.
Bro, oh no. You're going to tell me to not focus on that and focus on the immigrants. You know what? You're right. She's right. It's the immigrants. Oh my God. That is insane. This is going to be
about
such a good
homelessness,
video.
people who are chronically homeless. And the reason
Shout-
why people are typically
shout out
chronically
her,
homeless
bro.
is typically they have had usually insane amounts of trauma.
The way I look
True.
at this is the amount of resources going to illegal immigration that could be diverted to helping homeless Americans today. Voting should be a privilege, not a right.
If the laws affect you, the policies and legislation
Oh
that is
my
passed will
God, are
affect
you
you as an adult in
kidding
this
me?
country, you should have the right
Oh,
to vote.
Ceci. Oh, I like your hair, Ceci. Oh, new tap. Dang it, bro, that's crazy.
Welcome to the Dr. Dap Show. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Dap.
She has to debate, she has to debate Naima, Erudite, and Ceci. That, bro, I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. Just the 3 of them alone, that's, I'll be sweating, bro. And then there's 20 liberals. Well, is there 20? I think it's less. Wait, 12. Wait, huh? Where's the 20? I only see 20. Is the 20 in the room with us? I don't know.
My first claim is that President Trump is giving the world a needed reminder that America is the leading global superpower.
We didn't need a reminder that, oh, America is a leading superpower, because I mean, you can say what's you take advantage of, or China, blah blah blah. The tariffs, they ran with that narrative, and it sounds good, like, oh, we're being ripped off, be America first, and remind everyone that we are the global leaders and superpower. And then you can do that without destroying our reputation in the process. Like, you know, that's why it's stupid. If that's the truth, if you really need a reminder that we're strong because we were weak before, if we were, this is the wrong way to do it. We're even weaker.
Hi, I'm Angie.
Hi, I'm Sierra.
Kyla?
I'm Zena.
All right. So
Oh, and Xena?
exactly.
Bro, oh my God. Good luck, bro. I'm low-key rooting for you, even though I disagree with probably everything what you're going to say. But I'm low-key rooting for you, okay? I'll be good at
Exactly as I
the
wrote it, you
debate.
know, I just think that the world has been laughing at the United States for quite a while now, and it's really
Yeah,
nice to
for about what? Let me say, it started like in November of 2024, and it really started January 20th, 2025. And it's a pretty crazy day, right? Oh, that was Trump's inauguration. Yeah. Since then, yeah, we're a joke.
and back in office, who's not afraid to ruffle a few feathers to remind people that we are the most powerful nation in the world.
It's such a
and the
bad
world needs
strategy,
to
though.
be
It's so
reminded of that.
stupid.
Go ahead, Kyla.
When did anyone forget?
When did they forget?
Ooh, bro, probably, oh, say it. Probably when Biden was in office, when we had inflation, when, okay, wait, just okay, but
Probably when they were laughing at our president bumbling up and down the stairs and falling asleep during debates. Like,
What? Debates? You mean one debate? Bro, Trump falls asleep. Oh, bro, how can you do this, bro? How can they just be so oblivious to their own side? It almost sucks to be a Democrat because you have to be so critical of your own side too. Like, you have to be fair and criticize your party while also criticizing the opposition, which you're supposed to do. But oh, it's just such a bad position to be in.
3 to 5 years
Not like the
ago.
president now who's bumbling upstairs and struggling to remember.
I-
calling Gavin Newsom. the
I
president of
didn't
America.
see that.
Sure, Trump is not a perfect person, but we have
Oh, we didn't see Trump being perfect. This
to
is
acknowledge. Can we all just
oh my
acknowledge how
gosh.
badly Biden did during the final debate? That was just the final moment.
Okay, and then, but then, oh, why would we even agree to that? It was a bad debate performance, but I still think was 100% more capable than Trump to be in this presidency now than Trump is. Yeah, I think Biden would have been doing a way better job. Now, what I want Joe Biden? No, I think Kamala would be better than Biden. And if I could choose anyone, I would choose someone I align with mostly.
Does that make anyone forget that America has the most powerful, most funded military on the planet? Because I feel like it does.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I did. Joe Biden tripped up some stairs, and I forgot that we still have the best economy and the best military and one of the best GDPs and yeah, all this stuff. Yeah,
Doesn't make any
everyone
sense.
wants to
I
come
think it
here.
does. I think if
Yeah.
you are watching the leader of the country be basically incapacitated on the global stage, it gives you more
Bro,
than
how could you, dude? How could you say that? All right.
whether or not we will
All
actually
right, bro.
retaliate in the instance of an attack or
So
something.
why
of that
didn't
nature.
China invade Taiwan while Biden was in power? If we're so weak and they were not sure of our power, they're clearly interested in taking a large portion of the ocean there. They're clearly interested in taking Taiwan in the way that they've taken Hong Kong. So why didn't they do that?
Why did they
Maybe Joe
not
Biden
do
was
it?
the way. Yeah.
Why didn't they do it?
Yeah, I would argue.
Are you suggesting that I should understand the movement of the reasons behind every single movement of other countries?
I'm trying to get
That's
you
not
to
the claim.
square-
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to know the broader scope of the world in the context of why decisions are made, right?
square the consistency, right? If it's the case that China dominantly is holding back from Taiwan because of deterrence of American military power, which is a known reality, sure, this is something talked about, and they didn't invade Taiwan despite the growing need for solar power, microchips, and the dominance of microchips, particularly during AI, which started under Biden, I would say the strongest incentive to invade Taiwan would probably be, well, if Joe Biden was so underassuming, if America was so laughed at, if I were
They would do
China,
it,
that would
right?
probably be the time that I would do it, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe they could have during that season, but that does not. You're creating a false identity
false-
of understanding everything that was going on in China at the time. You're suggesting that because they had a opportunity to do it during Biden, that they would have. If
Well, I'm
they
saying
felt
that
more
they
inclined
definitely
to do
did it
so.
because the American military, nobody has ever forgotten that America is the number one global superpower. It has the largest
Right.
economy. It has the largest military that is most funded. Nobody's forgotten about this. This is why Mark
I
Carney talked
disagree.
about
I
how
think
we
if you
would-
look and just watch.
Who has
What do you
forgot?
think that
Who
Trump has
did?
actually done in his second term that has actually reminded people, like world, that he is
Tariffs, wars.
we are
Say
the
it.
global
we
superpower?
took
What
out
has he
two
actually
Major
done?
dictators in two different countries in the last
let's get it straight
6
here.
months.
So you said that the reason that Trump needs to remind the world what America is, again, a oil company with a military.
I'm not gonna lie. I would be like, imagine if I'm on a show like Jubilee and I'm debating these premier online like Dean Withers, Destiny, Pisco, like these the most debatey people on here, which it makes good content. But oh my god, I would be, dang, I'd be scared.
Is because of the fact that Biden couldn't speak.
I'd be
That's
nervous.
the reason why we needed to bomb children.
Well,
in
it's
Iraq.
not. It's not just because Biden couldn't speak.
Okay,
I'm
let's-
It's
saying
not
that
just
the
because-
United States has been used and abused by other countries.
No,
We've been making
like all the talking points. I could predict this. Okay, what are the prompts? Okay, let's just do a prediction real quick. Damn, they didn't write the prompts. I kind of don't want to skip. That's not right. But I know I can predict everything they're gonna say, bruh. Oh my god, they all have the same talking points.
by other countries.
Holy.
Well, just look at China and the reason that Trump had to tariff them, right?
China, look at them.
systematically
Which the
rid of
Supreme
our-
Court actually like rolled back a lot of the tariffs that he
Yes, but that's the
instigated because they
Supreme
were
Court. That's
considered
not
like
Trump. My
unlawful.
claim is about Trump.
Right.
My claim is about what
so,
Trump
so
is
once
doing.
again, to clarify your claim, you said that America is being laughed at, right?
Yes.
Yes,
and you
that we
said-
are
was,
since
not
January
anymore.
20th.
specifically because of Biden and his inability to speak, right? And therefore, we need to again bomb children in Iran. I don't know, like
So
Tariff
did
the
we
entire
actually bomb
world.
children in Iran school?
Yes, we absolutely did. 175.
Ooh.
So again, the school was actually close to a
What? Oh,
nuclear-
why would you justify? No. Okay, come on, stop. I never seen someone actually try to justify it. Some people, the main talking point is like, I haven't heard about it. That's kind of what they say. She's brave. She's brave.
base that we did bomb,
But
but
it
Israel
was
and the
bombed
United
twice.
States
We
did
doubled
not.
back.
Israel and the United States did not take ownership of that particular bombing. They took
We actually
ownership
have.
Oh, yeah,
of
they-
all
We
2,000
literally have.
They-
You're-
They kind of did end. Well, I don't remember what they said. I don't know what they said recently, but they did it initially and did it for a long, long time, and they still kind of like skirt past the point. Like, oh, they try to get you in a debate. Oh, didn't y'all bomb school children? Like, I mean, no. Like, we're trying to stop Iran to have a nuclear threat. Like, that's what they say basically.
Your administration, whom you support, has put out a statement that said, per our new intelligence, that we actually did bomb a school.
Oh, well,
and
they
not only
did.
they do it once, they did it twice. But
Twice.
this is giving Darvo to me because the prompt, as far as
Double
I was
tap.
aware of, was
Just like
Donald
that
Trump
boat.
is reminding the world that we are the global superpower.
Good job,
Why
Trump.
are we talking about Biden? I want to know specifically what this man has done to the global economy.
Well, that's good, bro, because
Let me-
they just want to bring up Biden
I
every
wanna
single
know
time.
in terms of NATO and foreign relations. I want to know in terms of how he's affected fuel and transport. I want to know how what. I'm not even going to give you. I just want to know specifically.
much
so
do
we
you
can
want
stop
to
talking
know?
about what Biden did, and we can talk about.
What do you have? You haven't said anything. How much you want to know? Just give me two. Give me one. But the ones they give are so not reasoned. So like, what's the point of even asking them a question?
Because we have 20 minutes and we're not about to sit up here and deflect and talk about Biden. You're stating the
True.
statement about Trump. So respectfully, can you please let us know exactly, concisely what he has done instead of reminding him, people laughing at us? We're not going to debate that. What has he done specifically?
So again, to the prompt, stating that Trump is giving people a reminder that we are a world superpower. So I will answer that. When I
Who needed
look
to
at
be
our foreign
reminded?
relations right now, the number one thing that I was happy about was us removing federal aid from other countries that have been ripping us off. Let's be honest.
Ripping
we are
us off.
pouring money into
You
other
mean Israel?
countries. I'm
The
not
countries
just
that we
talking about
constantly
Israel.
fund, like whatever that they need to do, right? We understand that like America's military has become a
They're probably gonna be. They're like TikTok debaters. They're gonna be Israel broken. Like they're probably gonna think Israel is behind everything. So I'll be careful with that.
supplementary power to Israel. So if you want to talk about federal aid in our foreign policy, your biggest concern should be us constantly funding and backing that country.
Well, I disagree. I think Israel is actually a
But wait, stopping the funding of that does not give us any more power. We're not getting ripped off because there's something in exchange we're getting back. The exchange is, oh, we can look up to the United States of America and know, hey, they have our back. They have the best technology, everything, the most money, the best military. They can help us out. They can send us US aid. It'll benefit us in the long term. It's not just like, I gave this country $100 and now we're down $100, so they're ripping us off. It's not just a one black and white exchange. That's not how life works. But that's how MAGA thinks life works. So yeah.
how do I say this? It's a beneficial ally for us. When we look at where financial aid is going and we see things like Israel, I don't have a problem with finding,
I don't follow with Israel.
funding Israel. I'm actually not
oh
against that
my
because we
God. What?
need someone in that region to care about American interests.
What? That's why. So just because they have American interests, but they can do whatever they want, we can fund them. Like, you don't want any restrictions? But I don't know, bro. Does she even know?
When you
He's
look at
destabilizing our interests. He's destabilizing our interests.
Oh my God.
We are looking at a de-dollarization, right? People don't want to have our dollar.
but that did not start under
No, it
Trump.
did not
We have
start,
to
but-
look at the other
Oh
countries.
my
You're correct.
God.
Yes,
It did.
No,
Yes, it
actually,
did.
actually, no. Let me
Look
tell
at
you.
BRICS.
Let me
Oh,
tell you
oh,
something.
wait,
As a
wait.
history teacher, you're correct. That did not start. BRICS was already in existence. But do you think so? Here's the thing. Why would we then strategically put ourselves in a position to empower that movement, to isolate from allies, we literally
Exactly. Yeah,
are
why
the
would you
sole
do that?
Allies, are you
excuse me,
upset that we
ma'am.
are-
No.
You're
Thank
not
you.
you're not
And
the
I don't
biggest
wanna be distracted by
power in that way. Like you can be the best and strongest, but no one wants to be with you. Who cares? Yeah, Russia's the biggest and strongest, and oh my God, Russia, China, people are afraid of them. North Korea, but like no one wants to work with them. Whereas like the power that we have is more of like a soft and hard power. It's a really good balance. So we can have the the American influence spread across the world while also still having our identity here and then benefiting in basically the every way possible. Like everyone wants to come to America. Like, that's why.
I do want to finish my thought because I want to give you an opportunity to respond. We are the sole reason that the Strait of Hormuz is closed. That's 20% of the world's oil supply, right?
True.
Now, Iran is not
Wait, you
the
didn't tell
American
me to know what's happening in foreign lands? Come on. now.
military, clearly. Although they were not prepared. American Israel were not prepared. That dome, done. They were not prepared, right, for the attack. They're also not prepared for troops on the ground, and they're ready and ready per what their prime minister said. But what I want to know is, historically, what they do have is the ability to cut off. Why do I need to bomb you when I can just cut off your supply? And not only have they cut off our supply, but they've cut off 20% of the global supply for the rest of the world. You think our allies are impressed by that? I don't think that's so. So
Am
I think they're very
able to
impressed.
respond?
Absolutely.
And the reason that I was cutting you off, again, when I was responding to the previous
Can I
question that
respond?
you asked, this young lady did jump in the middle of my response to that, right? So
Ooh.
what I'm not going to do, and I'll tell everyone here, I'm not going to talk over you. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to do that. It's just not in my nature.
Did
I'm
she
not
ever say that? Did she ever like play the ground rule? I don't remember saying that.
interested in it, okay? So if you feel that you would rather speak, then let me finish. I'll just let you do that, all right? So in regards to specifically the Strait of Hormuz, right? How do you say it?
Hormuz, the Strait.
Thank you.
Strait
I
of-
said vermouth like a drink because I need one. In regards
Is she
to the
probably
Strait,
nervous, bro? Is she probably hella nervous?
you actually made the point that I'm trying to make. You said we are the reason that it is shut off, right? That is what I'm saying, that Trump is reminding people of our power.
What? That's a crazy way to twist it, bro. I don't know how they do it, bro. Oh my God, that is like, I just don't know how they do it. I don't know. You have to have no morals. You have to have just no morals. That's crazy.
of our ability to control the rest of the world
True.
if we feel we need to.
If we
Miriam,
feel
all
like it, we
takes from
can.
us
How are
is
we
All it
controlling
takes
if
is
he
us.
just went and asked NATO, who he just previously
Well, look at all these.
denigrated, and belittled and condescended our allies, and now he's going back and asking them for help. So is it a good thing or no? Because it doesn't seem
That's
like
how negotiations work, though. That's
no, that's bad strategic and lack of policy. And for the sake of our survival, Democrat, Republican, like as American citizens, I'm gonna call it out and push back because it's dangerous. It's dangerous domestically.
what
and
is
it's
dangerous.
Brinkism.
Okay, explain. Go ahead. It's
Brinkism is his policy, right? So most
Get 'em,
diplomats,
Erudite.
especially after World War II, were like, hey, wars suck. They're bad for economies, kills lots of people, especially young people.
Are they bad for economies?
Yes,
Your
they're
president said that when he
absolute.
was running.
Well, hold on. Yes, they are unequivocally destructive for economies. The
are.
Dow, it's no longer over 50K, Pam Bondi, right? It's not. It's, I think it was at 45 last
But
time
it
I checked.
also reached the highest levels that we've ever seen it.
It's also started-
Was she gonna say it is beneficial because you make money in war, which is a again very just one-dimensional way to look at it. Yeah, you make money, but damn,
Acknowledgement where
it's
due.
bad.
We
It's not
can't
good. War's
take
not
one
good.
and ignore the other.
We can because we have studied this historically, economically. Wars are bad for economies. They are always bad for
I mean,
economies.
like, do you know how much the war is costing a day?
I'm not aware.
$1 billion a day.
$1 billion. Okay.
Approximately $1 billion a day. And
Okay.
we're
That's
just
it?
looking at like how much.
I mean,
it would
it's not
take
10
to,
billion.
Like, for
Who
example,
cares?
house people and provide food and shelter for people. When we look at how much this is racking up over the span of weeks, so many of these problems could have been resolved. But instead, we are bombing other countries, and this is not. In fact, what it's doing is raising gas prices for average Americans. So once again, we're not. seeing
Again,
this
let's
helping
okay. If we're gonna
our
talk about
country.
gas, let's be fair and honest about the
I like the gas is OD, bro. Like that gas number right there is a political number. It's just insane, bro. It's in your face. You can't. Every time you pop your gas, you're thinking, oh, I got a oh, thanks, Trump. You think that it's like every single time. Good job if you want to be remembered that way.
fact that he also dropped the gas to the lowest we've seen it in
Where'd you get
probably
that
over a
information
decade,
from?
right?
Where'd you
From
get
what
that
source?
information from?
My life. Are you kidding me? New
Your
York
life
had-
is a singular
What?
source of a nationwide
New York
statement that is
City's-
false.
New York City's
Which
gas
that can't be true if it's your life and say you're 30, gas was cheaper back then. You're gonna say it was cheaper under Trump than it's ever been. Like I don't even think yeah, it's not good. Not good.
was down to $2.84 up until about 3 weeks ago, and many other places. Now I know you guys are here in California.
Oh, what in New Bro? Where are you? What do you do? Where do you live?
Yeah, under this California, I won't call it a tyrannical government, but under these Democrats here in California
Oh
who like
my
to misuse their people
God.
for their political
Oh
gain.
my
So I see that you're
God.
not receiving those benefits, but across America, we know that gas has been under $3 a
Bro,
gallon.
it's not. In Texas, where it's notoriously cheap, I always tell people, oh, gas is cheap here, especially where I live, where the outskirts of Houston. In Houston, it was expensive, but like down in the suburbs, bro, $2.19 gas, $2.10 gas, $2.30. We're mad when it's like over $2.40. We're like, what? Like that's in Texas, but like we're reaching $4. That's insane. So no, in the states where the gas is the cheapest, it is getting increased. You can't say in most places it's fine, but then like in the Democrat cities it's high. No, everywhere is high. Gas prices are up everywhere. And they know it, but I don't know why they just don't admit it, bro. It doesn't
For
matter.
the last 3 weeks.
I'll
Doesn't
just back to
matter.
this. The issue is the reason in part why is because Jerome Powell is managing the Federal Reserve, right? Which is most economic benefits of any presidency can dominantly be dumped at the Federal Reserve. Trump's kind of magical because he did all the illegal unconstitutional tariffs, which destroyed our economy. But sure, oil was low, but oil was low because there was peace. We had good trade negotiations. Jerome Powell was managing it well. And how is he reacting to Jerome Powell? What thanks has Jerome Powell gotten? Subpoenas, despite him being his own choice, right? So going back to the prompt. The
I
world
don't even
needed
know
a
if she knows
reminder.
any of that.
I don't know what to tell you. Everyone has known that America is the hegemon. Everyone has known this. This
Everyone
is-
has known America as a cash cow,
No.
as a teat to suckle from. Quite literally. We are
That's not
robbed
the
by
only-
everyone else. China, as I was saying earlier,
How are we
That's so
robbed if we have the largest
stupid.
economy in the world by an additional 12 trillion over
Robbed
the
by
second? How is it
who?
even slightly possible? In fact, if you look at Canada and America, Canada has consistently dealt with bad trade deals because we rely on them so heavily until finally Mark Carney said, you know, it's not good for all of us middle powers to just constantly take the worst deal and undercut one another. We should stop doing this.
I think
Canadians
that-
have suffered as a result
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
and I
hegemon.
agree because we're taking the
America's
worst
not
deal.
been feeding the world by any means. They've been
True.
military funding the world, and that's probably the only thing.
America
True.
has given the world the most
If we have
federal
troops, we have bases all around the world. This is insane.
aid of any country. That is a fact.
Because they're the
Also
superpower.
destabilize the world more than any other country in the history of Earth.
Sure, but the actual point is
So they
they
are-
can do that more than anyone else.
God,
It's
going in
precisely
on
my
her, bro.
power.
Thank
Going
you.
in on
Thank
her.
you, my love. I'm making that
if you wanna
point
agree that
that
America's
people
always
need
been
a
a superpower?
reminder. Yes, we're in agreement.
So
The question is
nobody needs a
whether or not-
reminder if everyone knew the whole time that America's a superpower. It
I
sounds
have
like
not yet
sounds like
actually
we've got a war.
founded on my claim because you guys keep just giving me your facts.
Same thing as like make sure to take out the trash when you're taking out the trash already. Like I didn't need a reminder. I was already doing it. Well, yeah, I'm just telling you, just because the trash can stink sometimes and you take it out. I'm like, I'm literally putting it in the trash. What do you mean? Like, it's, yeah, stupid.
that you're interested in, debating,
Agree with me.
and that's fine.
America's always been a superpower.
How about this, right? I think Kyla is right. According to, the way that we track wealth in this country and in the world, America is by far the wealthiest nation, the most powerful nation. But we also track, though, that when we look at where that wealth is, it's not in the hands of Americans. It's exceedingly being put into the hands of the ultra wealthy, 1% of the population. So what we can all attest to this, right? As the years go by, the gap between the majority, 99% of like Americans, and the 1% continues to increase
Babe, I'm
because
sorry,
of the
does
fact.
this come back to Trump?
Yes,
at some point?
we're getting back to
Okay.
it, babe. We're getting back to it, right? What we're
She
seeing
can only just do the talking points. She can't do anything else. That's crazy. Can we, economy? What? What is that?
here is that, without a doubt, this country has power. That power is concentrated within 1% of the population, but it has power. And nothing that you have given us today has.
I've barely been able to speak with this group of ladies, and I said,
That is insane. No, you've said enough. And that's honestly all you have to say. This is it. That's all she has. She's ulted already. There's nothing more she can say to them.
you're all very versed in what you believe, and that's fine, but you haven't even understood my reasons for feeling what
No.
I'm saying. Yeah, so
No, they do, but they're countering it. You don't have any counter to their counter. Like, that's why you're getting mad. Oh, I didn't get to speak. Yeah, because you haven't said anything.
as I was saying, my prompt and what I believe is that the vast majority of other countries in the world have been using and abusing the United States for quite some time. When we look at
Quite some
the tariffs
time.
that Trump imposed on China, I thought that was fantastic because China has been ripping off American patents for decades. And you as liberals, you should care about that because the way that they're able to
You
rip
as
off these
liberals.
patents is by using child labor, right? They can make these products way more cheaply in China and then sell them right back to the United States with no qualms. I love that President Trump is stopping that and is forcing them to think about, well, not think about, but change the way that they're doing business with the United States.
How about, instead of just a blanket tariff, maybe address that issue if that's what you're trying to do? Instead of like pay more for tariffs? Don't you think it's a little smarter? I don't know.
Hold on.
IP
We've
theft
also
has
been-
stopped under Trump. Is that
Sorry?
true? IP theft has stopped under Trump.
No, of course it's not going
right.
to stop instantly, Kyla. Be
It's not stopping at all. At all.
realistic and honest. But the reality of China being aware that we're not going to turn around and take these problems over and over, right? The fact that we not took our chance, but we made it known that we will take Greenland if we need to. I love that. Yeah, babe.
Holy. Bro, man, it's just so sad.
My next prompt is that transgenderism is a mental disorder.
Transgenderism is a mental disorder and should be treated, not affirmed. So just off the claim, no, that's a completely bad faith way to frame the transgender topic because you're already porting the well that it's a disorder. So like if someone doesn't know, you're still arguing from the position that it is, and you're trying to say it's okay to affirm it. But no, we're not affirming a disorder because it's not a disorder. Like there's other things at play in that.
My name is Rhonda Bankston.
I'm Chelsea Gods.
I'm Bella.
I'm Liz. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all. All right, so just
You
to
too.
summarize my claim or why I feel this way, I look at transgenderism and I see that a human with a perfectly functioning physical body is telling doctors that something is happening in their mind.
Oh, okay. I gotta just let her speak. But the points she makes are just so surface level and regurgitated. Like it's so tired.
Mind to make them believe something about themselves that physically we can see is just not true. So I do believe that it is a mental disorder similar to schizophrenia or anorexia, and that it should be treated and not affirmed.
Can I ask what the treatment you think is?
Absolutely. I think way more therapy, right? We should not be pushing children into gender affirming care such as, any type of hormone replacement or anything of that nature. Therapy, honestly, my suggestion would be a lot more therapy. I would honestly say you go push with therapy as much as possible.
But it's like, if you're being honest in therapy, there would never be a point to where you're being talked out of your identity because the therapist is trying to get to know you. So if you're expressing yourself like, okay, let's say you're trying to hide or trying to suppress that you are maybe in the wrong body, you want to start transitioning, but your society and your friends or this person told you to go to therapy, and then you try to do it, you're pushing, you're going through a million sessions, and you're like, bro, I still feel like trash. Like I'm not who they want me to be. I'm someone who I want to be someone who I want to be. So in a sense, like therapy wouldn't work to try to get someone off of it. It's just, you kind of have to just force them But for her, that she would rather say it doesn't exist. So it's like just therapy it out because that's how all things are solved, right?
And
really
you
talk
just
about
don't-
it for so long though. Like you're still living every single day with gender dysphoria, and I'm just wondering like what is the treatment for it besides just talking about it?
Well, if we take the instance of anorexia or bulimia, they go to rehab. So perhaps there should be rehab centers where these individuals are directly treated and given a lot more direct and everyday attention. But I do
This is such
believe
bad
that if we
advice. This
stop
is so
running
bad.
to medication very quickly, we would give a lot of these, especially children, we would give them time to come out of this belief system and see.
In some cases, yeah, medication could be given too quick, but I don't think that happens all the time, or that could be what was recommended by the doctor or physician and came to a conclusion with the therapist. Like, I mean, it just depends on what you're trying to do. Yeah.
That they actually do not want to go through physical surgery.
I agree with you. So a man thinketh, so is he. I'm a registered nurse, 33 years. I've seen all
RN.
ages of transgenderism and clients feeling as small as 3 years old telling me that a little girl says, Ms. Rhonda, I want to be a boy. I feel that I'm a boy. But everything about a person, every situation that you meet, every person you meet makes you the way you are and how you deal with it. Some of them have been sexually abused,
Yes.
result of drugs and alcohol, mental illness, homelessness, domestic violence, physical illnesses, and the list goes on. Abandonment.
I agree,
And if
Rhonda.
nobody has talked to these children and listened, you have to listen to people's feelings instead of talk at them.
Right. So she thinks she's agreeing with her, but she's not. She's like, oh yeah, I agree, right? But it's just counter to your whole claim that basically talk them out of it. That's not the solution. It's not what needs to happen.
And that's what has gone on. I've done mental health all these years, and I even get letters from 30 years ago of clients saying, Ms. Rhonda, thank you for listening.
Amen.
And what happens
Listening.
is professionals get burnt out in the system. There's so many shortages. People are quitting their jobs to follow their passions and follow their dreams. If we just listen to them, it is mental illness, and nothing is wrong with mental illness. It can
I
be
disagree.
managed.
Oh.
It can be helped.
Oh, never mind. Oh, I thought, like, I guess I read it differently than she was saying, but I 100% just. Oh, so they agree, but I disagree. Why's she up there? Is it middle ground? Right? Is this like the format? It's called the bridge. So I guess it's just, if you want to just debate it or talk about it, you have to really disagree. So, because honestly, I would start debating you. I'd be like, hold on, I know you're the star of the show, but to my right, hold on now, because she's like, look at her. But again, if it really is a mental illness, that's how you want to treat it. Like, and it's supposed to be taken serious. Like, I mean, because they do it in a very hateful way. Like, that's not how you were to treat an actual mental illness, right?
I completely agree, Rhonda.
Never
We
mind.
can wrap this up right here.
Well, I'm going to staunchly
Wait.
disagree because
Like, I would have, man, Rhonda, come on
I
now.
actually think that
You let me
transgenderism
down.
is just a natural state of being in the same way that I think being gay and
Ooh.
being straight is a natural state of being.
But
And it
it's
just so
not
happens
natural.
that
What do you mean?
transgender people exist in every part of the world.
Of the
It doesn't
world.
matter if you're in the middle of the
Oh.
Middle East or if you're in the United
Middle
States
of
of
the Middle
America
East.
or if you're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Transgenderism has always existed and will continue to persist. And treating them like they're not human beings just because of their genitalia is a serious issue.
Okay.
And I'm sorry.
We're not
No.
gonna do that.
Oh, she's because the slightest pushback. Oh, wait, hold on, wait, no, that was. You know, you're going way past my talking point brain. Okay, you're doing too much. I don't know. We can talk about the history of transgender people. The Middle East. There was They can't be. It just happened 2020 when TikTok came and COVID, Biden, Kamala.
That
Earlier-
I did not suggest being
Earlier, you
harmful or
suggested that you wouldn't
hurtful
interrupt
to them.
us and talk over us, and I would like to
Right.
remind you of that. So,
True.
thank you for coming back. The point is that in the middle of the Pacific Islands, before any Western civilization had ever met any of these people, there was a group of transgenders called Fa'afa'ine. And they were just accepted as a normal part of society, just as transgender people are accepted as a normal part of society in many parts of Southeast Asia. The fact of the matter is that being transgender is not a Western way of being. It is actually a human way of being. And I think the real problem that we have here is that people like you don't want to treat them
But
as
it's
human
weird.
beings. And they just want to be treated like human beings. You don't need to know their genitalia to treat them with kindness. You don't need to know what's between their legs or what's underneath their jeans in order for you to treat them with kindness and human dignity.
Do you disagree? Why'd you? She's kind of spitting. Like, you're like sewing out a bit. but like it's good. Like it's actually true. She's being
And I think
genuine.
that you, considering that you think every one of them is a mental health issue, is seriously inflammatory, considering they are people and
It
there are
really
people
is,
who
yeah.
exist everywhere on the planet.
That's something
one.
I would not call it that. Yeah, it's not good.
Sure, they exist everywhere on the planet. Two, when we look at,
Oh,
let's take the Amish population.
That's how you got it. They exist. Okay. Yeah, they exist everywhere.
Here in the United States, they have extremely, extremely low instances of transgenderism.
And they have high instances of child sexual abuse.
Wait,
Move on.
oh my God.
I'm not going to move on because you just
Oh
told me
my
not to cut you off,
God.
but you're, but of course it's fine. So
No, that's not. Oh my God, are you getting cooked?
my point would be that I
She's
never
good.
said to treat anyone
What was her name? Yes, you are treating them different. You are. You kind of are. You are treating even other mental illnesses with that kind of same lens, where it's like, just be normal, snap out of it, stop being depressed, stop it. Like it's just like not a good way of thinking. Not a good way.
ill, right? I think we can rewind the tapes and see that I never once suggested that. I
Rewind
actually
it.
think that it's worse to take a child who is a child. I have a child. Do you have a child?
I have 2 children.
Okay, so my child, she's a little girl, she's 10 years old, she loves sports, and she loves doing her makeup and hair. I am deeply uncomfortable with the idea that if a child comes up to someone saying, today I feel like a boy, well, what does that even mean? What does that mean?
can actually answer
What does it
They're-
mean
they're-
to feel like something that you're not? Okay, whether or not people are treated with dignity, I agree with you. I do not think that it's okay to be harmful or disrespectful to people
Oh,
because
I'm
you
glad-
don't
I'm glad you
understand
think
them.
that.
I think
Thank
that the
you.
left does that far more so the right than vice versa, actually. I think that if you were to peel back the layers of actual pain that people go through, taking a few more years to speak to someone about whether or not they actually need this physical change, rather than jumping them right into something that is irreversible. And
What you acting like they don't talk to them before they they don't just like make an appointment online. Like they don't call up the doctor or like the surgeon and be like, you know what, I'm gonna make an appointment to be trans today. And they call, okay, appointment at 5. Okay, I'll be there soon. Make sure you arrive 15 minutes early, drive there, do the do the operation, and you're good. And you're like, oh man, I don't want to be like that's not what happens, bro. The people need to be just serious. Yeah, just be serious. Please,
let's be clear,
please.
in many instances causes long-term regret, right? Definitely, hold on, without a doubt, it causes long-term pain and suffering to the physical body. These people have to be medicated forever. There's no going back.
Diabetics.
Diabetes is not a choice. You don't choose. You don't go into the doctor's office and say, you know what, today
It's not a choice. Like it can be hereditary, but you're not guaranteed to get diabetes. Like for that, you would just say don't eat certain foods or eat past a certain time, watch your weight, exercise. You can't say the same thing about gender dysphoria. Like, oh, well do this, don't do that, go to therapy, or let me teach you the right way, read the Bible. Like that's not the same thing. You want to attack it the same way or approach it the same way as somebody who is pre-diabetic and someone who has gender dysphoria. Like you would not treat them the same.
I feel like eating way too much sugar. I'm gonna
Transgenderism is
be-
not a choice. Having gender dysphoria is not a choice. And to
True.
answer the question of like why, my personal idea is I think we push gender stereotypes way too hard. So like if a
True.
little girl feels like a boy, it's because she's not identifying with what a girl is.
So for stuff like that, like kids, yeah, they know what's girly and what should be like some boy stuff or man stuff, but like it's because we teach them that. You know, they wouldn't have known that pink is a girl color when they got out the womb. They don't have that concept. We got that concept on them.
But boy doesn't, if he's like a girl, it's because he's not identifying with what they're being told a boy is.
So then why do we need transgenderism? Why can't we just tell kids there's no basis for male and female? You don't need to chop off your genitalia to now be considered a boy or a girl.
With kids, I'm not going to say like, yeah, chop off your boobs, little girl. Like, I'm not going to do that.
But your base does do that.
I feel like
Your base
They
in California
don't.
will take a child away from their parents and take them out of a classroom and transition them
Your
in
base
secret.
will-
Yeah, they sure do.
um,
Yeah,
Yes, they do. Yes,
yeah, they do. They
I
do.
just I
Yep,
grew up with
she's
gender
right.
dysphoria.
She's
and
so
I haven't
right.
done anything. I'm not on any testosterone. I didn't do anything to my body, but I still live with this gender dysphoria. It wasn't a choice. And I honestly forgot your question a little bit. But your base, from what I've
Yeah,
seen,
because it was so her
like,
comment was so
demonizes it.
stupid.
I was sent to conversion therapy in the woods for this and being told I was a demon over and over and over again. Like,
Just do it again. It didn't work. Come on, do it again. Do more sessions. Just keep going. Just therapy, conversion therapy. Go in the woods again. That's what she wants.
Okay.
that's more damaging, I think, than sending
I
kids
would-
to
I,
therapy
I'm
to
sorry.
talk
I
about it.
sympathize with
I
that.
firmly agree that is not okay. What happened to you is awful, and I'm sorry that happened to
But
you.
can you
But
acknowledge that
that's what you're prescribing. That's what you're saying that should happen.
the side that you're on kind of encourages that?
I think that if we
Um,
were to be having a better
no.
conversation about treatment, that would happen less.
But you don't do that. You don't want the conversation. They just want to say, just it's not real, detransition, they want to mutilate your kids, chop them up, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, that's
often, right?
all
But
they say.
because the left has this all or nothing approach to it. It is, if we don't completely agree with transitioning everybody, and I'm not just talking about children, if we don't completely agree with transitioning people and affirming them and saying their chosen pronouns, then we are labeled as bigots, we're labeled as hateful. You decided
Here's the talking points.
that I was hateful the moment that
You
you sat
literally
down.
just said that you wouldn't call them what they want to be called. I do find that to be hateful. I think a lot of people find that to be hateful.
I think it's more hateful to affirm someone's mental delusion. I do feel that way.
And that's the unkindness that we're talking about. Thank you for illustrating it.
First, I want to
Oh
acknowledge
my
I'm so sorry
God.
you went through that as a child.
We're here. It's okay.
I think there's a lot of misconceptions. No one is pro surgery for children. What is being done is
I am.
that children, basically it's respecting people cannot make the permanent decision until they're 18. Now that's why they get hormone suppression therapy. So that makes it, if they choose to go through the surgeries at 18, it is much simpler if they have not gone through puberty. So it is actually in alignment that, no, you can't make that decision under 18. And if you were to go through puberty, that's a form of having made that decision. There is a minuscule percent of the population that's transgender. And as someone,
But it's such a
personally
huge
who's, like,
problem.
super girly, born girl, has been like the most girly girl my whole life, I'm going to have to step back and say that when someone says this is my identity, and as my personal experience in life cannot identify with it, I'm going to show them respect that they have a way of navigating the world that I personally cannot understand.
Can I
So,
make a
may I
statement?
finish my
Go
sentence,
ahead.
please? Thank you. Now I just lost my train of thought.
Oh.
But I cannot understand. So I'm going to step back and say they are living an experience that they can understand significantly better than I can. So if they say, this isn't my
Like,
body.
and a lot of them are genuine. I'm telling you that people need to approach this in good faith and not just think they're lying or, I don't know, just being weird for being weird. Like, I don't know. They need to approach this in good faith and with empathy, because if that was you would want some help too. But people cannot put themselves in the shoes of anybody except themselves.
This isn't my gender. They know so much better than anyone else does. And
Okay.
children are
Okay,
required
I
when they're
guess so.
getting
I mean-
hormone suppression to actually go through therapy. They can't just walk in, go to the school nurse, and get it.
So
Yeah, they can. I
Why
saw it in
can't-
California. What do you mean?
a 6-year-old get a tattoo?
They absolutely couldn't. They're too young. 6-year-olds aren't
Why are
going
they too
on.
young?
They're too young
Why?
because, well, 6-year-old can't get trans.
Bro, oh my God. She's good. She's good.
Transgender surgery, and a 6-year-old
But they
can't go
can
on.
choose to start hormone blockers, right? So that
No.
is a longer term.
What?
An adult
Oh
can choose
my
to start
God.
that for them. in
What is
certain
she
states.
talking about?
Hormone blockers start before puberty, shortly before puberty, not years
Okay,
before
so
puberty.
let's turn it into a 10-year-old. What can a 10-year-old get a tattoo?
I don't think a tattoo is going to solve any issues.
Hey,
Like, if you're saying it's a mental
what is,
issue, it's
I
a mental
don't
disorder, then there
understand,
has to be some
bro.
sort of treatment.
Okay.
She's not
So
good.
getting a tattoo isn't treating anything.
Okay,
What is
so
the accepted treatment of transgenderism in the United States of America?
Affirmation.
Oh, that's the one. What do you?
Exactly.
What do you know?
No,
What,
it's
that's
not.
what we're saying. I'm saying
people who
that's
study
horrible.
this, people who study this professionally, who this is what they actually work
Actually
in.
kinda messed up.
This
I
is what
didn't
they do
wanna-
for a living. They've studied it for decades. They've studied it way longer than you. They know all of the statistics. They know all of the data because they've been collecting it. But you know more than them. That's what I'm hearing right here. Is that you know
I'm
what's
not-
better than they
actually,
do.
I would love to actually answer that. What I believe is that their studies and their prompting towards the world, as far as scientifically, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. You guys can chuckle now, but I do believe that
You don't
when
say.
you follow the money and we look at the long-term results of telling children and telling people that transgender
But she's not conspiratorial enough to believe the Epstein story. Like, I don't
is
know.
normal. I have to ask deeper questions because as you see studies, like I used to be a huge vegan and believe it or not, I was a huge vegan. My daughter still to this day doesn't eat meat because I had her and I was a vegan at the time. When I looked into where those veganism studies were coming from and I followed the money back, you
Yeah,
see
big
that they're
celery.
actually coming from, not big celery, but we're seeing that they're coming from, companies that also have investment in lab-grown meat and other, Beyond Meat, et cetera. So they have a vested interest in the long-term results of these studies being accepted. So
Fact
hold
of
on,
the matter
one
is
more
that these
moment.
studies have been taking place long before any of these big pharma companies were the players in which you think they are. The point
What-
of
how
the
can you
matter
say
is
that? Big
the point of the
pharma's
matter
been
is that
around
you have a
health
belief system and they have empirical data, and you are defying empirical scientific data that has been collected.
Well, if you
fastidiously.
wanna talk about science, like,
But
they don't
sci-
count
they,
on
they,
that
they,
how
they
much
have
scientists work than you do.
they had to get paid, so they lied and everything. So yeah, I don't trust it.
in understanding
24%
this. And
of
you're saying, oh,
transgender-
well, they're wrong and I'm right. And I think there's something
24% of
suspicious about
transgender
that.
people also have autism. Why don't we ever speak about that? They are 6
What?
times more likely to be diagnosed with
Holy.
autism than the standard person. So when I say that this is a mental situation, hear me when I say this. My point is very simply, it is dangerous to affirm something that is only happening in someone's
There's no correlation. What you talking about? Holy yeah, bro.
mind. When we look at previous mind-only situations, we're talking about schizophrenia, bulimia, anorexia, etc. We cannot affirm
Why
them
she
because
keep-
we know that it is not
Why,
actually.
why does she keep treating it? Oh, she just needs to do more research. Did you read? Have you read the DSM-5 book? Like, I don't know. Like, even I have no business reading that, but I did. I read some of it. It was very interesting, especially when like all the studies about how Tylenol causes autism. I was like, oh, let me pick up a book and read it. And they had studies on Tylenol and autism and how that is decided by environmental factors, whatever. Like, it's a study, and it's not solved, sure, but like, holy, they think they know more than the scientists and the studies who took years to compile all the evidence and all the data. Really, oh my god.
Happening to the physical body. I'm not going to set a table for my schizophrenic friend's best friend at the table. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell them, hey, if you're seeing people that are not there, you should get help. But with transgenderism,
Why does she keep
because
equating
you make a
to
lot
it?
more money if you put a child on hormone blockers immediately. You make a lot more money if they need to get
No,
surgery down
that's
the line. You make a boatload of money
not-
because they're consistently going to be
no,
on medication
that's
for the rest
such
of their
a-
lives.
they're
You make
so
more money
dumb.
because this is now a cash cow for
Yep,
the medical
'cause you
industry.
can
And
make
that's
money,
why I do believe
yep.
that it is more harmful to these people to affirm
Yep.
them than it is to ask them to seek more treatment.
But
Yep.
again, as a
True.
registered nurse, I worked with infants, toddlers, children, adolescents, adults, and geriatric. And by listening to, and again, I'm sorry that happened to you. If we listen
They
to
they
people,
say. I hate when people. That's the kind of fake sympathy. Like, I'm sorry what happened to you. Like,
we
you know.
know that what makes you the way you are. Whatever you experience in life makes you the way you are. If someone was raped, if somebody was molested, if somebody was fondled, people don't want to talk about their hurts and our pain. We don't want to talk about those things, but it is real. And that's what our choices turn into. I'm not going to be mean to somebody because they choose to be gay, transgender. That's not what I say as a human being, as a Christian, and as somebody who loves people. But I want the best for you, whatever's going to make you happy.
But I just
So
I have
affirm
to
them.
disagree that it's
So
There's
affirm
so
them.
much money in big pharma, like you were saying. The choice is, again, if somebody said they want to be called he, she, it, I'm going to call you that. I don't have a
Based?
problem with it personally, but in the medical field, just listen to people. Just listen to them. Whether it's we've had depression, we've had anxiety. Everybody in this building has been sad about something, grief. We've had those things. So
She-
why
you kinda-
should I feel so strongly? Your feelings about something is what you feel. What a client
She-
says
she-
it
she's
is
redeeming
is
herself.
what you say it is.
She redeeming herself.
And I still think that
And as an adult, 18 years old, 18, can you buy liquor? Can you smoke weed? Now it's legal. You can do all these things at 18. If they choose to cut their penis off or take their vagina and make it a flap, it's your choice.
Flappy vaginas.